Welcome to Ipswich. Now in this video I'm going to be covering the period from when the first Europeans arrived here in 1827 up until when Ipswich became a city in 1904.
Brynhyfryd was completed in 1890. The name, of course, is Welsh and means pleasant hill. It was known locally as Blackstone Castle.
Greetings, GeoNerds. We're on the trail today up in Ipswich, heading up with to the side of a historical old house that Rob, for Walkabout with Rob, mentioned in his video. And he asked me to go and have a look at the rocks. You know something? We're going to do that. So, heading up the hill now. It's not a particularly big hill, but it's a really nice place. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, so it's still quite early. The mountain bikers aren't out, so hopefully we can have a look at this place unmolested more soon. Well, folks, here we are today up above Denmark Hill, Hail Radio Club. Sorry about that. The city of Ipswich down there. 3D's a bit crappy, but believe me, it's better than Google Earth's. This is just all flat land. Beautiful Queen's Park coming up here. Another geological feature. We'll look into that just a tiny bit more in the near future. Coming down the Glebe Road below us there, brand new Silkstone Village. Never heard of that. Off the right there, we just missed Brothers Leagues Club. Oh, the memories. We'll talk about that another time. Here we go. We're heading towards the location of the Blackstone Castle. Ooh. Again, I can't say it too much. Go and watch Walkabout with Rob's video. I'm not going to cover the history of this thing, all right? I don't need to. Rob's done a great job. But we will have a look at the geology, because as you can see, there's a big lump here. Why is this a hill? Why is it a valley like everything else? There are reasons. We'll have a look at that. I went out and walked all this, so you're going to have to sit through that too. But anyway, not to worry. This is the site. We'll have a look at probably some of the geology and the LiDAR, I think, which will tell us a little more about the site. So yeah, it's an interesting site. It's well worth a walk. If you're out this way, go and have a look at it. Well, folks, here we are LiDARing over the site. There's Thomas Street there and the Blackstone Road. We're just coming up. I did a few different shots. This gave us the best look at the profile. This is a seriously steep site. When you go and walk up there, you'll see it. You can't walk off the edge of some of these places. It's too steep. You need to go down hand over hand. But anyway, that's the site. And don't be fooled by most of those marks you can see. They're modern. They don't in any way follow the old garden beds or anything like that. It's a bit of a put-off. But anyway, we'll do something in a minute that'll give you something in that. So let's have a bit of look at the geology. It's interesting on the surface, but there's not much there. You've got really only 3 formations, and only 2 really come into play here. You have the Aberdeen conglomerates, which are here. That's that red stuff we see, and the Blackstone formations. These are fairly similar formations. They both contain shale. Underneath it is coal, and this is the interesting bit. This is Ipswich. So you've got a big syncline, which is an upward bend there with the limestone deposit in the middle. The Blackstone Hill we're on there is sandstone, and then the what's it called? The Aberdare coal deposits go underneath this. And here they are here. When they dug that reservoir, they're the seams. Here's our old house. I'm not going to say the name. I don't need to. I've told you how to say it once, have I? No, not yet. Not later on in the video. You'll get it. It's Brynhyfryd is how it's said. Anyway, not everyone says it the same. Here's the bloke. Lewis Thomas. Was he a nice guy? No idea. Driven, yeah. Definitely driven. Lived to be an old age. Rob will tell you more about that in his video. Go and watch that. I know I keep harping on about it, but it's really good. Especially with the rest of Ipswich as well. I get some interesting shots of it here. Here's a coal mine down in the valley with the mansion in the background, the castle. It's not a castle, it's a house being demolished. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd take the local topography and belt the old one on top of it for you. And to give you an idea, this house was actually designed by an Ipswich architect, George Brockwell Gill, And it was built by Ipswich tradespeople out of local bricks. 60,000 local bricks. It's that simple. None of this castle brought in from Wales, all this rubbish. Yeah, it had Welsh slate on the roof at one stage, but they took it all off. It had some imported marble fireplaces and other things, but it was basically a locally built 49-bedroom home. You call it a mansion. It was not a castle. It was never a castle. And yeah, he did not undermine this. I had to say, oh yeah, like so greedy undermine. He didn't. The people he's older to definitely undermined it. There's subsidence all over this hill. I saw some of it while I was up there actually. But certainly there's digging as well, but there's definitely some subsidence up there. And apparently this coal seam caught fire back in the 1940s or something, and it burnt for a while. So here's a shot from down in the valley with the castle up in the background. Yeah, it's there. Unfortunately, it's against the sky. There's a very small photo I had to blow up. This is 1946, as you can see. She's been cleared, but the shell of the house is still there, that square. It's still standing. That stood up until the 1960s. Here it is in 1956. She's been knocked out a bit, but that shell is still there. You can see the square there. No one's going to go up there and knock it down. In 1967, she's gone. Knocked over. That looks very much like that today, although there's been a bit of digging done up there, having a look around. Let's go and have a look at the actual former castle site. This is what happens when you let the marketing people in charge of the historical stuff. But anyway, we'll see. Brynhyfryd. That's how it's said. Let's go in and have a look, see what we can see. Again, more of that local sandstone in the trail. I have a 1949, 1946, I think it is, aerial photograph of this. And this whole area is a mine site. It's just stripped clean. There's not a tree here. And if you look around at these trees, there's probably not a tree here more than 50 or 60 years old. Nothing. So I'd say they've gone through here with a bulldozer and done a pretty good job of removing all the evidence of this old place, but we'll have a look. They might have missed something. This is the site where the old house was, folks. And it's been well bulldozed right down to the bedrock. So I'd say even any foundations that were there have been removed, but have a closer look, you never know. Might see something. You notice the trees, these trees are, even these slow growing trees here, 50, 60 years old. I'm not too good with trees. But there are no old trees up here at all. This has been completely cleared, obviously. We've seen photos of that. And there are some trees in those old photos, but I think they've been taken down as well, because I can't see any of them here now. Anyway, we'll continue on. Well, Rob, your suspicions were well founded. I just broke this little rocky open and look what's inside. A nice 60, 100 million year old, I'll look it up when I get back home, leaf. I'll keep that for you next time I see you. It's yours, mate. Let's keep looking. There's two fossils on this hill now. Me and this. Oh, well, fossils can be elusive. Now, that looks like a bunch of sticks. Fossilised sticks, and it may well be. But on the other side, that is definitely a fossilised leaf. Well, there you go. You were right. Plenty of fossils up here. Once you get your eye in, they're absolutely everywhere. Folks, here we have the old back wall of the milking shed from the 1890s. Still exists. With the Humpty Dumpty, of course, who had a big fall, so I heard. Here's some of the 1890s galvanised trusses, and up there is the 1890s 20-foot container. I gotta have a look. I just gotta. Somebody cleared this pad for a reason. Let's find out why. One of the reasons when you're walking around the bush in Ipswich, anywhere really where there's been any mining, just keep your eyes on your fries. That's an air shaft that goes down to a coal mine that's underneath here. Colliery number 2 to Aberdeen. Colliery number 2. And yeah, you go down quite a way. I would think they'll be mining under this hill. And this hill's about 60, 70 metres high, so it's a long way down. Doesn't matter if you fall in it, you're going to die. Correct answer is don't fall in it. Also over here I've noticed there is a flat pad here that seems to perform no task. It's obviously been built for something. I'll look on the old photos. If I can find it, I'll put it up. I see a big ant's nest. Please have a look. Don't get too close. These little fellas can get angry. These are red ants. But the rock they bring up from underground tells you a lot about what's going on. These things can go down 2 or 3 metres. They'll show you rocks you'll never see. And here we have a massive pile of red clay right here, and it goes down the hill there and keeps going, and I think we see this on the geological maps. I'll bring them up in a bit and just point that out. Big piece of red clay, which will be red sandstone that's breaking down into red clay for sure. Old termite mound over there, she's all red, and this one is all white. I think these are fossil exploratory holes. They're too small to be anything to do with mining or anything to do with geotechnics or anything. I think there's people looking for fossils, of which there are a lot here. There really is. Anyway, we're just heading back over to our trail over here. Went a bit off trail because you can. It's good fun. Keep your eyes open in this bush though. There are some mine shafts here. Well folks, here we are out on the track again. This time we're on the side of a hill in Ipswich. Just finished having a really good look at this Blackstone Castle site. Well, there'll be a video on that soon. Who knows, you might even see this video in there with different audio on it. It does happen. Look for the recycle logo. That's the clue. Anyway, beautiful morning up here. Met a few lovely people walking their dogs and gave them a couple of fossils I'd found. And just about to head back down to Bundamba station and get the train home. No, I'm not. I bought my car today. Too early for the train this morning. Here we are. Just spin you around a bit, give you a look. It's a really nice spot here. Beautiful views. Except for me, of course. Let's get me out of there. There you go. So, Gianna, why is all this here? Well, of course, it's about this stuff, coal. A wonderful mineral, changed the planet, loving it. Not always in good ways. These are the guys that dig it. This is how they dig it. Don't forget this. It's not done by machines or robots. In those days, it was human beings like this and human beings like this, very young ones. And they went underground for one reason, to feed their families and to get a better life for themselves. And if they had a choice, they wouldn't do it. These are the heroes. My grandfather was one of these guys up at Howard, underground, coming out. And he died very young because of coal mining. Not guys like this. Now, I'm not saying this guy did bad, he was a bad man, I have no idea. Right, I'm sure he gave a lot of money to the community, all of which he could afford. And never ever let fat idiots like this, with their pet beetroot sitting behind them, try and tell you that no one ever got hurt by coal. It killed and kills hundreds of people every year in the world. Anyway, a much better looking thing here. Walking off the mountain, I bump into Walter Williams. legendary Ipswich DJ. I've known him for a long time. I haven't seen him for years. Walking down, and here he is. And why is he there? Because he interviewed Rob from Walkabout with Rob a week or so ago, and he thought he'd go and have a look at the site. Anyway, keep rocking. T-Rock's out.